time is 8:45. Here is the news edited by Dulmin Samrasinghe, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. Sri Lanka will ask Japan to invite its main creditor nations to talks on bilateral debt restructuring. A complaint made with the CID to investigate into the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation and Ceylon Petrol Storage Terminals activities. An amnesty period of 1 month granted to attract foreign currency. Colombo Harbour will be developed with more facilities for tourists. The deadline for calling applications from candidates for the 2022 GC Advanced Level Examination extended. 5 protesters arrested during the protest march at Union Place in Colombo. Foreign news. The UN chief holds talks with the Ukrainian and Turkish presidents. Sports news. UAE International League T20 Dubai Capitals sign 4 Sri Lanka cricketers. Local news in detail. Sri Lanka will ask Japan to invite its main creditor nations, including China and India, to talks on bilateral debt restructuring as it seeks a way out of its worst economic crisis in decades. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has told Reuters today that someone needs to invite the main creditor nations, and they will ask Japan to do it. The president has said that he would travel to Tokyo next month and hold talks with Japanese Premier Fumio Kishida. He said, besides seeking assistance from its allies, Sri Lanka is also in negotiations with the International Monetary Fund for a loan package of between $2 billion and $3 billion. Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara has lodged a complaint with the Criminal Investigation Department today to investigate into the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation and Ceylon Petrol Storage Terminals activities. In a tweet, the minister said he requested to investigate into the fuel procurement, evaluation of proposals, non-placement of orders, selection of suppliers, delays in payments, distribution irregularities. He has also asked to investigate into the allegations made by individuals within Petroleum Corporation and the Ceylon Petrol Storage Terminals. The Minister of Finance has issued an order granting an amnesty period of 1 month with effect from August 15th in order to attract foreign currency held with the public in the banking system. Accordingly, amnesty period will be granted for people within or resident in Sri Lanka who hold foreign currency notes in possession. They can deposit them into a personal foreign currency account or business foreign currency account as specified in the order as applicable. They can also sell them to an authorized dealer such as a licensed commercial bank or national savings bank. Further information regarding the matter can be accessed by contacting any licensed commercial bank or national savings bank or by contacting the Foreign Exchange Department of the Central Bank. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with more local news. Steps will be taken to enhance the facilities at the passenger terminal of the Colombo Harbour. Minister Nima Siripal de Silva said that the aim is to provide necessary facilities for foreign tourists who are arriving in the country. During an inspection tour of the Colombo Harbour today, he said the arrival of cruise ships has stopped due to the COVID pandemic and the economic crisis. He said the project to enhance facilities at the harbour will be implemented, targeting the forthcoming tourist season. Measures will be taken to provide a resting hall with modern facilities, sanitary facilities, a duty-free shopping complex and transport. The deadline for calling applications from candidates for the 2022 GCE Advanced Level Examination has been extended. Commissioner General of Examinations LMD Dharmasena said the due date for submitting applications has been extended until August 26th. He said this special opportunity was granted only to the candidates who had received the results of the 2021 Advanced Level Examination to apply for the examination. 5 protesters, including Inter-University Students Federation convener Vasantha Mudalige, have been arrested during the protest march at Union Place in Colombo. Actor Jehan Apuhami is also among the persons arrested during the protest. The arrests were made after police used water cannons and tear gas to disperse protesting university students who were marching through Town Hall and towards Union Place despite police blockades. The Government of Australia, with the concurrence of the Government of Sri Lanka, has appointed Mr. Paul Wesley Stephen as High Commissioner of Australia to Sri Lanka based in Colombo. He presented credentials yesterday to President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Presidential Secretariat in Colombo. Meanwhile, the Government of Nepal, with the concurrence of the Government of Sri Lanka, has appointed Mr. Bashu Dev Mishra as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Nepal to Sri Lanka based in Colombo. He presented credentials yesterday to President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Presidential Secretariat in Colombo. Ceylon Chamber of Commerce has announced a dynamic team of evaluators for the Best Project Sustainability Awards category, which awards special sustainability projects conducted by corporates. This year, the panel of evaluators for the Best Project Sustainability Award is led by Senior Lecturer, Faculty of Engineering of the University of Moratuwa, Dr. Chandana Sirivardhana. The closing date for applications is October 28th. Applications and relevant details are available on the website www.chamber.lk. Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, says that production cost can be controlled by reducing the inflation. He said that the inflation should be reduced to maintain economic activities in a productive manner. During a media briefing today in Colombo, he said that everyone should be committed to achieve local targets by empowering local machinery. He expressed belief that the IMF would support the economic activities of the country. The Elections Commission will be entrusted with powers to decide on conducting the local government elections after 20th of September. Chairman of the Commission, Nimal Punchehava, said that the local government election has already been postponed by 1 year. He said the Elections Commission does not agree to postpone the elections. That ends local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Deputy Director General of the Health Ministry, Dr. Hemant Herath, says the ministry is working to get a daily report on the medicines. He said that essential life-saving medicines are available in the country and there is no shortage of 14 such medicines. Dr. Herath further said that when hospital authorities inform about lack of medicines, they will take action to provide the relevant medicines from an existing hospital. He said, if the medicines available in the country are used effectively, treatment of patients can be maintained without any problem. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
A lecturer of the Moratuwa University Engineering Faculty, Dr. Tushita Sugatapala, says that people should be cautious when using wood to cook food. He said some use discarded chairs, tables and other wood which can have paints and chemicals on them. He said that when burning such pieces of wood, health of the persons can be affected. Therefore, he requested the public to refrain from using such wood for cooking purposes. That came to you on Watchlight.
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
Moving on to world news, let's take a look at the headlines. The UN chief holds talks with Ukrainian and Turkish presidents. Fish tested amid Yemen COVID outbreak. Finland Prime Minister's partying video causes backlash. World news in detail. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres is in Ukraine for talks with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan today. Guterres arrived in the western Ukrainian city of Lviv yesterday. He said Zelensky are expected to discuss the safety of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant in southeastern Ukraine. Concerns has been heightening as attacks continue around the largest nuclear power plant in Europe. More than 5 million people have been ordered to undergo COVID-19 testing in the coastal China city of Xiamen this week, after some 40 cases of the virus were detected. But they are not the only ones who have been ordered to get tested. An official notice states that some forms of sea life are also expected to join the latest mass testing drive. Pandemic Control District Committee issued a notice saying that when fishermen return to their ports, both fishermen and their seafood must be tested. The Finnish Prime Minister Sanna Marin is facing a backlash after being seen partying in a leaked video. The footage, thought to be taken from a social media, she and friends, including Finnish celebrities, are seen dancing and singing. She has faced criticism from opposition parties, with one leader demanding she take a drug test. The world's youngest Prime Minister, aged 36, denied taking drugs, saying she only drank alcohol and just partied in the boisterous way. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The UN chief holds talks with the Ukrainian and Turkish presidents. Fish tested amid Yemen COVID outbreak. Finland Prime Minister's partying video causes backlash. That ends world news. Moving on to development news, the United Nations in Sri Lanka and the government partners signed the Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework yesterday for the island nation for the next 5 years. The cooperation framework will guide the work of UN agencies, funds and programs for the 2023 to 2027 period. The cooperation framework gives primacy to accelerate actions to ensure a rapid recovery from the economic crisis along with the impact of COVID-19. That ends development news. Sports news is brought to you by
Sampath Bank, we present your future.
Cricket news. Roman Powell, Fabian Allen, Dasun Shanaka and Sikandar Raza are among the 14 overseas players signed by Dubai Capitals, the team owned by the GMR Group in the UAE's International League T20. Dushmanta Shamira, Bhanuka Rajapaksa, Niroshan Dikwella, Hazratullah Zazi and Mujibur Rahman are the other big names, while Scotland's George Munze and Netherlands' Fred Klaassen are the two associate players. 4 UAE players will be drafted at a later date. Among the current signees, Paul is the only one who is part of Delhi Capitals, the franchise party owned by the GMR Group in the IPL. That ends sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSP You Trust.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Dankutu Porcelain posted impressive results for the first quarter of the financial year 2022 and 2023, recording revenue of 788.4 million rupees for the first quarter of the financial year 2022 and 2023. It is a 56% growth when compared to the 504.4 million rupees achieved during the corresponding period. Further, the company achieved a gross profit of 374.1 million rupees, which was an 86% growth compared to the 201.46 million rupees achieved for the same period of the last financial year. That ends business news.
Business news sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Moving on to economic news. Land valuation indicator for Colombo district increased to 186.9 with a year-on-year change of 17% during the first half of 2022. The central bank said this annual increase and the semi-annual increase of 4.6% showed a deceleration of the increasing trend observed in the second half of 2021. All sub-indicators of land valuation indicator, namely residential, commercial and industrial, contributed to the overall increase. Industrial land valuation indicator recorded the highest annual increase of 20.6%. That ends economic news. Moving on to weather report. The Met Department shows showers or thundershows will occur at several places in central, over eastern and north central provinces during the evening or night. A few showers may occur in western and suburban provinces in Galle and Mathura districts. That ends weather report. To wrap up the evening, late night news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Sri Lanka will ask Japan to invite its main creditor nations to talk on bilateral debt restructuring. A complaint made with the CID to investigate into the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation and Ceylon Petro storage terminals activities. An amnesty period of 1 month granted to attract foreign currency. Colombo Harbour will be developed with more facilities for tourists. The deadline for calling applications from candidates for the 2022 GC Advanced Examination extended. 5 protesters arrested during the protest march at Union Place in Colombo. Foreign news. The UN chief hosts talks with Ukrainian Turkish presidents. Sports news. UAE International League T20 Dubai capital sign for Sri Lankan cricketers. With that, we wrap up the night news on Radio Sri Lanka.